Welcome to the Not Just Waiting podcast. I'm your host, Rihanna Hoffman, and this is a space for women learning to wait well and live fully. Whether you're in the middle of uncertainty, transition, or just figuring out what's next, this podcast is here to remind you you are not behind, not forgotten, and definitely not just waiting. Let's dig into truth, grow in courage, and hold on to hope together. Hey friends, welcome back to the Not Just Waiting podcast. Today's guest is Heather Claiborne, a certified Christian life coach and speaker who's passionate about helping women find freedom and clarity to choose the life they're called to live. She lives in Murray, Kentucky with her husband Wes and their 6-year-old son Judah. Together, Heather and Wes also serve with the West Kentucky Fellowship of Christian Athletes, where she works as an administrative assistant and supports their ministry to students and coaches. Heather has such a gentle, grounded way of seeing the world. She loves being outside, walking barefoot in the grass, hiking, and making sourdough bread. It's the simple things that remind her of God's goodness. I know this conversation will encourage you to slow down, listen for God's leading, and live with intention right where you are. Let's dive in. Hey friends, welcome back to the Not Just Waiting podcast. I'm so excited to introduce you to Heather Claiborne. It's Claiborne, right?
Claiborne, yeah.
Okay, I was like, how Southern can I say your last name?
Hey, I live in the South, so it's fine. And I get Claiborne, people spell it C-L-A-Y, it gets butchered all the time. So I'm fine however you say it.
That's so sad. As a person whose first name and last name now gets misspelled as if my life depended on it, I'm so sad about that. That makes me so sad. Anyway,
so
it's really funny. I was not meaning to Southern the mess out of your name, but it did.
You're fine. It's really fine.
So,
I'm all twine.
Now that you've met my friend Heather and heard my Southern this morning, I cannot wait to introduce you guys, and you're going to love her. I have talked to her for the whole of maybe 5 minutes at this point, and I want to put her in my pocket and take her home with me. Too bad she lives too far away, but I just want to have her on my couch and give her all the sweet things and just sit and talk for ages until our significant others are like, hi, are you coming home today or tomorrow?
Next week.
Next week. Okay, so can you tell us a smidgen about yourself?
Yeah, smidgen. Okay. Let's see. So I live in a small university town called Murray, Kentucky. And my husband and I work for Fellowship of Christian Athletes. I actually just joined him. He's the area director for our 3 local counties. And then I recently joined them about a month ago as the admin assistant working part-time. And so really cool to and through the coach of reaching athletes and making disciples. So really cool to get to be a part of that ministry. We have a beautiful 6-year-old boy, Judah. He turned 6 in July. Man, he's 6 going on 30. You would love to have a conversation with him too. He puts mama in her place many times. Gotta love it. And I am also a life coach. I've been coaching now for about, I think since 2022, on and off coaching due to life happening, life is life. And so currently coaching. I'm also a speaker. I have had a few speaking gigs, I guess you could say. And so, and currently just having more faith than ever of where God wants us to go as a family, as individuals, as his children. And so
I love that.
Into that.
That's beautiful. So now that we know that you do a little bit of everything, and when you said admin assistant, I've been there. I have had multiple admin assistant jobs at the same time. And so when you hear like admin assistant, you're like, oh, you answer emails and do all the other things. No.
I do expense reports. So actually, I'm getting my husband in gear. He likes to do quarterly reports. And so this past time I did his first report for him, and it took me 3 hours. And I was like, no, we're doing this monthly. You're getting me these receipts monthly. You're getting a mileage book. We're doing it this way. So doing receipts, doing expense reports for him, and then the director that's over him, and then also doing the social media side of things. So that's been a learning curve, even though I've had my own social media for, a while. It's different somebody else and to have regulations and, guidelines for that. But there are days that I'm like, this is cool. I'm at work. I get to be creative at work. Like, this is really cool. So, just and then also like if somebody needs to be paid, that type thing, like, yeah, it's not answering somebody else's emails. It's doing all the background nitty gritty work so that they can be out in the field doing ministry.
Yep. Yep. Sometimes do you ever feel like a glorified gopher?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, cool.
Although sometimes I do like to be told what to do, like, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. Like, I don't wanna have to come up with it, and so to be the gopher, like, I can handle that right now.
Oh, I get that. So now that you do a little bit of everything, like you just told us an entire list, and you have a 6-year-old, how do you
Yes.
make space for rest, for creativity, for time with God in your daily life when you're not doing all of the things?
Man, I have found, especially since having Judah, I thrive on a rhythm, on the non-negotiables. And so, like, even on a Saturday, I'm still trying to get up early to get up before Judah so that I have that space, that time to, meditate, pray, read, get in scripture, things like that. Kind of orient myself to the day. Because if I don't have that, it doesn't go well. Because once Judah is up, we're hitting the ground running in some way or another. And so having those things that I stick to no matter what have been so helpful for me. And those even provide rest, even in I don't know how to describe that those provide rest, but
Yeah.
they provide a rest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So also like the phone and putting the phone down after everybody gets home and not getting on social media, especially social media, like after 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock even, I'm like, nope, not doing it. I usually set it somewhere else. If somebody texts me, I may get back to them. I may not till the next day. And so even having that boundary for myself with my phone has been so helpful. And that even provides rest. Like I know by 4 o'clock, I'm turning off. Like it is Wes, it is Judah. Wes is my husband. I don't know if I said that. Our son. And that's it. And finding moments of play, I think is so important. That's so part of rest. And play doesn't have to be like going out and, you know, playing actually something. It could just be going for a hike and noticing all the little cool things of nature, like the dew on the grass or the little mushrooms that are now popping up with all their little friends. I think that's a sense of wonder and a sense of play that does something internally for me that provides that rest, that provides some creativity. And I mean, there are definitely moments that I'm like, what am I going to post about? What am I going to put out there? You could probably relate to that.
Yes.
And so it's in those moments that, okay, I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to move and do something that's not sitting down and forcing myself. And usually when I go out and do something else, something comes to me when I'm not forcing it, when I'm not trying, it just happens. And I do find creativity to be more for me in the mornings. And so my content creation does tend to be more in the mornings than the afternoons. I try to schedule my day around that. But I do use a planner. I've been so against paper planners for my entire life. But I have found the beauty in having things written down because if it's not written down these days, it's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
You can forget it.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And these are some practical, like you just gave us some practical ways
Yeah.
to rest because a lot of times we get stuck. I recently have been like, okay, I need to figure out how to have fun and play. And I'm like, I'm overcomplicating this. I'm
Yeah.
overcomplicating it because there's things that I find joy in. Like, I love having people over. I love hosting. I love cooking. I don't necessarily love talking to my guests, but I do like having people over and I love getting to feed them. And I'm like, okay, that's fun for me. It doesn't have to be, okay, we go to town and we do this, this, and
Yeah.
this that costs money. And then we have to take a picture of it because we didn't take a picture, it didn't happen. I'm like, okay, no, I've overcomplicated
Ugh.
this. Way overcomplicated this. Way, way, way overcomplicated this.
Yeah, we're so good at overcomplicating things. Like, yeah, it's the simple things. Like I think in some sense we are very simple people. We have been called hippies before. Just that like Yeah, we don't need to go to town and do all the fun stuff. Like, we're fine to just be in our backyard and looking at the grass and laying down in the grass and, like, looking up at the clouds and, just being barefoot.
You're speaking my language.
Yeah. Oh, well, then let's get together.
Yes. Yes. Yes, yes. So, when did you realize that you had your gift or your calling, and what helped you take it seriously?
So this is a question that I'm like, okay, Heather, you're gonna have to really hone it in. Because instead of it being an up and to the right, it's a swirly mess, just all over. So, I would say, like, even as a child, fourth, fifth grade, I remember doing 4-H speech competitions. And I think I got first place in my fourth grade year, and then fifth grade year, I got second place, like the regional or something like that. I loved it. I love that process of writing and then speaking in front of people, making people laugh, whatever it is. Um, and so I think that seed was kind of planted then. And then I don't think I ever had confidence throughout middle school, high school, went through anxiety, things like that, that just kind of put a damper on the wanting to be in front of people, that type thing. So, also with that, I feel like I'd always wanted to be in some type of work that was helping people. And I have had many helping professions. I was a first grade teacher out of college, and then personal trainer, advisor on a college campus. And so I've had various roles where I'm helping people. But over the years, like, none of that quite felt like, "This is it. This is the thing." In 2017, I had gotten really heavy into fitness, health, eating well, what I deemed as eating well, looking back, not so much. And so for about 6 years, I was in the gym 5 to 6 days a week, lifting heavy, doing cardio, all the things, watching what I ate, counting my macros. 2017 came, in the fall of 2017, and I started experiencing pain in my arms. It's like, "What is this?" And from there, for the next 6 months, new things just started popping up, chronic pain-wise in my
Ugh.
body. It was arms, legs, TMJ issues, just neurological stuff going on. So with all that happening, I would say the spring of 2018, I was lost. Like, I'd so much built my identity and my worth and my physical ability and what I could do and how I physically looked, that when all that was stripped away, because I went from lifting bench pressing 135 pounds in the gym to being scared to lift this water bottle, like,
Ugh.
for fear of damage to my body
Yeah.
from what I was being told was going on. Um, and so I was I was in a very dark place in the spring of 2018. And so, I found myself I found myself drawing closer to God, but at the same time, I had a lot of questions. And I realized that my view of God was very broken during that time. Very broken. I thought he was manipulating me. I thought, what did I do to deserve this?
Mhm.
Like, what did I do so wrong? And I think he had to take me on this process to show me who he was and to show me his true nature.
Hey, it's me interrupting me again. If you've ever felt like you're waiting on God for something, an answer, a direction, a next step, you don't have to wait alone. We just launched the Take Courage Club. The Take Courage Club is our private Facebook community for not just waiting listeners. This is a space to grow in faith, find community, and connect with women who are walking through the same in between seasons. Come join us. Just search Take Courage Club on Facebook or click the link in our show notes. We cannot wait to see you there.
I remember in the fall of 2018, very dark place, trying different medicines to help with the anxiety, the depression. And I remember two things. I remember the prayer that I had throughout the whole time was, "Don't let this go to waste. Don't let this go
Mhm.
to waste." I it's what I held on to. And then I remember having this vision in the fall of 2018 of me sharing my story on a stage. I never had visions before. I never like, what? What is And so I thought, like, this how is this gonna happen? It's not gonna happen. I'm too far deep into this. Like, there's nothing that's gonna come of this. Like, I'm not in a mental place for this. Like, but I had that vision and I held on to it. That same fall, I got pregnant with Judah and I downward spiraled again of how am I supposed to take care of this baby? I can't lift more than 5 pounds. Like, what evil trick is this? And so blessing unexpected, Judah was for our life. COVID hit in 2020, and that sent me into another dark spiral. And it was in the fall of 2020 that I found coaching for the first time. It was trauma-informed coaching. And I was like, what is this? I don't know what this is, but I'm in a desperate place. Let's try it. And from there on, there were consistent seeds planted of like, there's something to this. I was in campus ministry at the time with my husband serving full time. And so I was getting to use what I'd learned about the nervous system and about trauma and about life in general, meeting life on life's terms. I was get I was getting to use what I'd learned for myself and help students walk through some very tough things and meeting life on life's terms. And, it was nothing that I want to take credit for, but people would speak into that and students would speak into that and say, hey, that was very helpful. Or I just need to talk to you. You're very helpful. I love the way you listen, that type of thing. And so those seeds were being planted that I was like, okay, maybe this is something that's could be a calling on my life.
Yeah.
And so um, s- in 2022, began my coaching business. I, opened my virtual doors and whatever you want to call it. And it was after I posted like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Um, I got a girl that I knew wanted to work with me within the first 24 hours of me posting that my doors were open, that type thing. And so that's where I was like, okay, maybe there's something that will continue to be to this. And so since then, I've had a few clients here and there. Haven't gone full time with it, but it is something that I find a passion for to be able to sit in a space with another human and speak life, but also just provide a space to listen without judgment towards what they are going through and to be able to ask questions to where they can come to their own wisdom on things. It's just so cool. It's such a cool space. So even in the process of offering coaching to other people, offering help to other people, I was still questioning my own ability to help other people. But continuing to get clients, it was like, okay, no, God is continuing to bless this. And so we're going to keep going forward. So through posting and coaching, some opportunities for speaking came up, taking the next step, just trying to be faithful in the process of, okay, this is what's coming. We'll walk into this. So got the I got the honor to speak at a ladies' day somewhere out in Washington, actually, Washington State. And that was really cool. And then I actually went back this past year. This is a story I want to tell. I went back this past year and it was actually 2 weeks after I'd started having some dizziness issues, which I think we had kind of talked about. You may not remember, but I started having some chronic dizziness. And I was like, what is this? What is going on? Oh gosh, this must be like I'm not gonna be able to speak at this place. I'm gonna have to turn them down. Like, I'm not even gonna be able to coach. Like, I don't have the mindset for this. Like, my
Yeah.
dizziness is just, whoa, makes me feel awful. But I stayed faithful to the process. My husband and I talked about it, stayed faithful to the process, got on the plane, didn't feel good, went to the speaking, the ladies' day out in Washington. And the morning that I got up to it was on a Saturday, the ladies' day was on a Saturday, and the morning that I was getting ready, I got a text message from a friend who she's one of those friends that we're always gonna be friends, but we don't always
Yeah.
text each other every day? And so out of the blue, she texted me, which is not out of the blue. I think it was a spirit-led thing, but she texted me and said, "Hey, I'm listening to your weeding lesson," which was a lesson I'd done 2 months before at another ladies' day. She said, "I'm listening to your weeding lesson out weeding my garden. I just wanted you to know that I was thinking about you." And here I am, like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stand up and speak to these ladies. I don't know what's gonna happen. Am I gonna, like, faint? Like, what is this? And she sends me that, and then it was like, "All right, God, you got me." Like, we haven't talked in months, and she sends me this. She had no clue I was speaking. She had no clue of any of that. And so that was another seed of like, okay, we're continuing forward. We're staying faithful to the process. And so dizziness still occurred. I kind of had inkling that it had to do with some of my chronic pain stuff. The neural, what I now have a term for is neural circuit um, symptoms and things like that. And that'd be a whole nother 2 hours of conversation that I would geek out on. But I feel like the dizziness and going through this yet, going through another chronic symptom again that was new. I feel like it was, in a way, an act of God's grace of like, hey, I need you to really lean into me and have faith and trust in me more so than you ever have. And so from that, the FCA admin assistant position opened up where I would have more freedom and flexibility in my day than working. I was working at a 9 to 5 at that point on campus. And so, and to be able to be in ministry with Wes again and more deeply pursue life coaching because that went on the back burner when I was working full time this past year on campus, and I could have done the work to, make it happen, but I didn't have the capacity at the time. And so it's been really cool to see God planting those seeds and like having those little stones along the way of like, hey, I got you. Hey, keep going. Hey, keep going in this direction, even though it doesn't feel good, and so all that to say, to answer your question, there have been various times where I've like, okay, take it seriously, take it seriously, take it seriously. And it's like that seriousness just kind of builds, like, oh, 2022, oh, I'll do this. And then in 20, I don't know. And then you got this year where it's like, oh no, I'll do this unashamedly. Like, let's go. Like, and see what God provides in the meantime.
Yeah, I love it. And that's
I
so
told you it
mirrors.
was swirly in a
Well,
roundabout way.
and it's like perfect because nobody's story is like up and to the right. I
Mm-mm.
have yet to see a story. Even you were talking about earlier being a teacher. I came out of college and was teaching. And that was
Yeah.
100% I was like, I'm going to retire doing this and then I'm going to do my second career. And that was
Yep.
very short lived. And so I love how the Lord like moves and works and provides in ways that you're like, huh? How did you make this work? What are you teaching me in this? And
Yes.
then he drops things in your lap and you're like, oh, this is what you meant.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh, this is what you meant by me having a desire to help people. Oh, this is why I spent 2 years teaching. It wasn't about the teaching itself, but it was about what I learned in the process of teaching. This is it's so cool to
Yep.
see him through it all, especially when you look back.
Yes, absolutely. We talk about waiting a lot, and it makes me laugh because we are all waiting on something or we're in a waiting season, even if it's just like waiting on Jesus, not just waiting on Jesus, but like the older friends that are like, yeah, I'm just waiting for Jesus to come back. They literally are waiting on nothing else. And it's so fun that we're in those seasons, like seasons of like teaching or being an admin assistant or being an advisor to students. And it's just a season. It's
Yeah.
just a stepping stone for something else so that we can better serve him. And you're like,
Yes.
okay, Lord, it would be real fun if you could tell me why I'm doing this now instead of me having to figure it out later. But I totally get the process. You're refining me in this process. I got it. It's just not fun.
Yes, and I think it's that acceptance piece of like, and coming to that acceptance. And I've had to build on that. Like, even when the dizziness started in the spring, like, it was, why is this happening? And this shouldn't be happening. And I thought I was further along than this, and all the things. And then it's like, no, wait, God has a plan. And I
Yeah.
wouldn't have been able to say that back in 2017,
Yeah.
18. And so to be able to build in that allowance, knowing and trusting in his goodness and his faithfulness is just, it can be so powerful and it can make or break a waiting season, I really think. And then you saying, these jobs we have or whatever are just a season. coming to see it as just a season, because I think we can often spin out in like, gosh, like, is this what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life? And what is my life? And blah, blah, blah. And forget, no, wait, there's a bigger picture here that this might be just a small part of. And I don't have to settle here. But for now, this is where he has me. And that's okay. It's
Yeah.
actually good. What can I learn in this season instead of why am I in this season?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. There are days that I'm still like, "Why me?" And then the Lord's like, "Hey, chill out. It's okay. You're
Man,
fine."
yes, like, I remember gosh, yes, I love you. Can I hug you? Um, yeah, I remember, the fall of 17 when all this was starting to go down and I had cortisone shots in my knees to see if that would
Oh,
help with the pain. Oh, man, do not recommend that. And just remember thinking like, oh, of certain people in my life, whether it's friends or other moms and thinking, well, why do they get to just be this mom without from my viewpoint, without a
mhm.
lot of cares, without these physical things, that get to go out and play with their kids and all the things, and why me? Why am I going through this? I remember sitting in a hotel room. Wes and I were at a church conference, and I remember sitting in a hotel room and read, can't remember the scripture, but it was where Jesus, I'm going to totally butcher this, so sorry. Somebody can look it up and, correct me. But Jesus says to Peter, I think, "Why are you so concerned about" was it John? I don't remember. This is where I
Probably.
should have done my research before we got on. But it's at the end of one of the gospels, and he's like, "Why are you so concerned with them? You need you need to pretty much just focus on you and where I have you." And to me, that spoke to me so much that morning in the hotel room of like, okay, I don't have to compare my story to somebody else's. I don't have to compare myself to someone else. And just because I'm going through this doesn't make me less than someone else. Yeah.
Yes.
It's taken a long time for me to accept that and get there, and I still work on it. But man, like, yeah, we
Yeah.
can ask why me all day, but at the end of the day, this is where he has us.
Yeah.
And
And along the lines of, like, comparison, what has God taught you about managing your platform and your influence with open hands? Because that is the biggest cycle of comparison. Like, you scroll through and you're like, "Oh, engagement. Oh, baby announcement. Oh, they're playing with their kids. Oh, they went to the pumpkin patch." And you're like, "What? Duh."
I got up and made some bread this morning.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So, man, he is teaching me so much. Like, I don't know if that lesson will ever be done for him with me. Um, yeah, it is a open hands though. Like, what's been on my heart lately that I feel like he's trying to speak to me is you can spend your energy in comparison and judgment and not enoughness and spending that energy and use your energy towards that. Or you can use your energy to bring me glory and help others. And that has just been like every time I want to jump into that comparison, every time I think, "Oh, they're so good. They got their stuff together. I'm just over here like sweeping litter out of my bathroom floor." Like, I got to come back to that. I'm like, no, I can use my energy towards bringing him glory and good to others, even if that's just one person that I help with my post. Okay. Who am I to say that's not enough?
Right.
You know? I have 450 followers on Instagram. I could easily look at somebody who has 1,000, 5,000, 10K, and I have before, like, how did they get that following? So I can look at that and dwell on that and stay in that, or I can be like, no, there's a 400 something people that I am helping, that I am putting my stuff out there, that are welcoming me, little old me, into their space. And that's super cool, that because if they really hated what I put out there and there may be some people, they'd probably unfollow me, right? And so I just think that's really cool and such an honor. And I'm trying to really dive into it being a space of gratitude for me and not a space of comparison. So, yeah.
That's
And
good.
also, I will add, like, his story, my story is his story. And oftentimes I can look at my story and be like, their story is so much better. They have way more influence because of their story or whatever. Mine's not good enough. But my story is his story. It's the story he had for me.
Mhm.
Therefore, it is good enough. It is enough. And so I'm not going to let that go to waste. I don't want to let that go to waste. I want to be a good steward of my story. And I think I see my platform as me being a good steward of my story, regardless of the outcome. Regardless of the outcome.
Mhm. Yes, Lord, let it be.
Get off my
Let
ball.
it be. No, you can stay on there as long as you want. So, last question that I have for you today. Where the podcast is called the Not Just Waiting Podcast. We talk about actively waiting and not passively waiting. We have discussed that passively waiting looks like Rihanna sitting on her couch watching Netflix. It's not super productive.
But
So
it can be quite fun.
it can be quite fun. Every so often, absolutely. Do I need to sit there and watch the entire 8 seasons of something?
No.
Probably not.
Nope.
Probably not. So how are you waiting well in this season, even though, like, things are wild and crazy and zany?
Yeah. Yeah. Can't say that it's always well in my waiting, but um, being faithful to the next step because God is faithful to reveal that next step.
Mhm,
And, this year, I could spend 15 minutes telling the goodness of God, of how he has blessed us and been faithful to us just in this year in ways that we have never seen before. And so I do feel like some of the things that he put into place or made happen were proof to us that you are right where I want you. Keep taking the next step. Keep being faithful. You don't see the outcome right now. You don't see how this is gonna all end,
mhm.
but you're being faithful, and I need you to continue to be faithful. Or he doesn't need me to be, but he wants me to continue
Yep.
to be faithful. So just eyes open to what that next step is, what that next thing is. Uh,
Hey again, sometimes courage doesn't look like a big, bold leap. Sometimes it looks like showing up where God has you, even when you're tired, uncertain, or still waiting for what's next. The Take Courage sweatshirt has created a simple reminder of that truth. It's soft, it's cozy, and meant for the days that you need to remember that faithfulness is courage, that God is working, even here. Whether you're grabbing coffee with a friend, serving at church, or just starting your day with Him, this sweatshirt is a way to carry the quiet confidence with you. You can grab yours now on Etsy. Just search Take Courage Sweatshirt or stop by the link in our show notes. Take courage where God has you. Now back to our conversation.
and another thing that has been on my heart within this season of waiting, as will always be in a season of waiting, is doing the ordinary well. I think oftentimes I can get caught up, especially being on social media and stuff like that. I can get caught up in, oh, I've got to be extraordinary. I've got to be this perfect, like up and to the, like we talked about, up and to the right, or I've got to be this shiny whatever and real. No, but that distracts me from doing the ordinary well, which is getting up and with a heart set and a mindset of faithfulness and love towards God, towards my family. That's taking out the trash without mumbling in my brain of, why is my husband not taking out the trash? Doesn't he see that it's full? Like, it's things like that of just do the ordinary well. I remember Judah got sick a couple weeks ago and I had plans for the day. I was like, oh, dang it, like, why are you sick? And then it just came to me, can we just do the ordinary well? And that would be take care of my sick son out of love and compassion for him without holding this like, oh, but I want to get this done. I want to get this done. No, you're going to be here present with him, do the ordinary well. And that is enough.
Yeah, that is going on my mirror in my bathroom as soon as we get done.
I
Just
love it.
saying. That's my aha for right now. Do the ordinary well. And it's
It
so
was a
true.
couple weeks ago. And so that's where
It's so true because we can get so stuck in I have to do the laundry and I have to do this and I have to unload the dishwasher. And then there's this task that has to be done. And you're like, but I just want to do XYZ. You're like,
Yes.
surely these influencers don't have to do their own laundry. Fun fact, they do. They have to do everything else that we have to do. All these famous people, all the celebrities, they have to do all of the things that we have to do. So everybody has to do the ordinary. Everybody
Yep.
puts one leg on, their pants on one leg at a time. Everybody does it the same way. And it's so easy for us to get stuck in that cycle of, well, why me? Back to the why me?
Yes.
Why me? Why do I have to do this?
Yes. Yes. Everybody uses the bathroom, right?
Yes, literally, yes, they
You
have
can
to.
get an assistant for cleaning your house and doing your laundry, but you can't get an assistant for going to the bathroom. Like,
That is true.
that's pretty ordinary.
That is very ordinary. So ordinary. Well, is there anything else you want to share with our listeners today?
Yes, I just want to give encouragement that, I think it goes back to that comparison piece that, man, we can fall so easily in a comparison. And there may be people listening to my story and like, I haven't been through anything like that. Like, my life's been pretty good. I don't have anything to share with people. I can't help people through stuff. Or they might have listened to other stories. Like, listen to some other stories of women who you've interviewed. I'm like, I don't compare to that, And so, like, can you're, hmm. So no matter what, your story is his story, and that is enough. And I want people to understand that and know that, like, he has you where he wants you. Yeah, we need to listen to see where he wants us next and stuff like that. It takes our part too. We're co-creating with him, but our story is his story. And so we don't need to hate on ourselves and use our story against ourselves. How can it be the very fuel that takes us wherever he wants us?
Absolutely. That's good.
The end.
Well, friends, thanks for joining. Heather, my couch is available whenever you want to
Okay.
come over.
I'll buy a plane ticket.
Sounds good. I'll come pick you up from the airport and we'll just chat for hours and then I'll eventually send you back. Wes will have to fight me.
Yay.
It's fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Well, friends, I'm going to link Heather's Instagram in our show notes. Please go follow her. Her stuff is awesome and amazing. And every time she posts something, I'm like, ooh, I'm that person. And please tell her thank you for joining the podcast. And maybe tell her something that you gleaned. Like my aha was do the ordinary. Well, so friends, so glad that you were here. Heather, you're amazing. And I really wanted to kidnap you. Well, we'll see you guys next week. Bye, friends.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Not Just Waiting podcast. I hope today reminded you that even in the in-between, God is working, and you are not alone. If this episode encouraged you, would you share it with a friend? And don't forget to hit follow so you never miss a moment of truth, hope, and real conversation. You can find me on Instagram at rihanna.ivy.hoff and join the community over on Substack for deeper reflections and weekly encouragement. Until next time, take heart, friend. God is in the waiting with you.